Okay, principles of passion, take one.
It's Principles of Passion.
Molly and I share a passion.
Hey, I am very passionate.
Oh, nice.
It is his passion.
Michael and I share a passion.
It's a passion for me.
It's my passion.
I've learned a lot, and I followed my passion. Here's your host, Chris Thomas, with Denora Robles and Dominic Cimino on IntellectualRadio.com.
So thank y'all. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough to Dominic Cimino, Denora Robles to start, to co-hosts. But thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And to anyone that's listening, this is Principles of Passion. We're here on IntellectualRadio.com. Had some good stuff happen today.
Share, do share.
So we got incorporated, you know.
It's official.
Your Passion 1 ST, we got incorporated today. So what we're trying to do is try and be a platform for, youth trying to get into the market. I was talking with a gentleman today I think I talked to eight students, youth opportunity, young adults today that are looking to get into the market. A couple of them had jobs, a couple of them didn't have jobs. The resounding consensus I got from all of them, though, was that it kind of lacked that passion a little bit, or lacked the things that go into that passion, right? And so today we really want to talk about setting goals, because that's one thing that is super important when it comes to finding that passion, defining it, and then really following it. I think that's crucial, is setting goals. So we'll talk about that today. We do have a contest for anybody tuning in. I had one caller already. And before I do that too, thank you to our sponsor today, Purpose Workforce Solutions. We appreciate it. Purpose Workforce is a mentoring and coaching-based staffing firm focused on disenfranchised students. So without them, we wouldn't have been able to get these Cubs tickets to raffle off, or should I say win today. So again, we appreciate Purpose Workforce Solutions for all that you're doing for the community. But the game, right? The contest. Cubs tickets for y'all Cubs fans. We appreciate y'all tuning in. If you are not a Cubs fan, bye. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you for tuning in if you're not a Cubs fan. But the rules, just to jump to those real quick, keeping in mind we're focusing on goals, right? We all set goals sometimes, but we don't have the discipline, I think, to follow through, to take action, right? And so one of the rules today was about just that, is tell us about a time when you set a goal, you were trying to achieve something, but you failed. You fell short. You know what I mean? And after that, you picked up the pieces, you picked up your ego, you checked it at the door, right? You picked up all those little pieces and you went back and you achieved the goal, right? So that's what I want to hear from. And listen, people don't want to call in, I'll take the tickets because I got some good stories. But I think we have some good stories. I think a couple of people are waiting to call in. One of the rules, though, as well, was you have to wait for the catchphrase.
What's the catchphrase?
Yeah. So I'm going to say the catchphrase right now one time and give people a chance to call in. But then I'm going to say it 2 more times in the show. And so the catchphrase is Principles of Passion, follow your passion. Okay.
Simple enough.
So I said there once, it's pretty easy. It's what this show is called, but also what our mission is. Follow your passion, right? Put your passion first. So anyone wants to call in, feel free to. If not, I'll tell a story. I'll try and win the Cubs tickets. I'll put that right back in my pocket. I will. But no, we look forward to people calling in. But as the show progresses, I really look forward to hearing some people's ideas of how we can make it better, how we can change it, how we can change things that we're doing about it. One thing I wanted to start doing is adding a little bit more value to the show. So for anyone looking for a job right now, there's 2 career fairs going on this week. One of them's tomorrow. It's the National Career Fair. It's at Hilton Chicago and Oakbrook Hills Resort and Conference Center, and it starts at 11 a.m. The second one is the Chicago Bilingual and Diversity Job Fair, which is on Friday, March 15th. 9:30 a.m. at the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel Chicago. Magnificent Mile. My town. Love it. So again, I'll say those again at the end. I'm saying them to you now. If you're looking for a job, looks like we got a caller, but if you're looking for a job, try and find, go there. Go find people to network with. We got one caller. Let's check in here. Yeah. Caller on the line. This is Principles of Passion. How are you? We lost the caller. Oh, did we lose him? Let's try that again. Call back. Caller, you on there? We appreciate whoever that one caller. We appreciate you calling back. There's a couple people calling in today, so everyone wants to win the Cubs. It's opening day, bleachers, chance to have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it'll be a good time. So, what I want to do, a good quote by Amy Moore. She's a psychotherapist and mental strength coach, and she's sticking to good habits. And a quote that she has, we're going to take this call here in a minute, but a quote that she has while we're waiting for it to come in: sticking to good habits can be hard work, and mistakes are part of the process. Don't declare failure simply because you messed up or because you're having trouble reaching your goals. Instead, use your mistakes as opportunities to grow stronger and become better. So I really like that. Again, Amy Morin, she's solid. So definitely look her up. What did we talk about last week, Dom?
Yeah, so to recap last week.
We got someone on the call? Let's see. Caller, you on?
I am on.
Hi, who is this?
It's Diana Tucker.
Diana, how are you?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
We're well.
Hi.
We're well. Thank you so much for calling in. Trying to win these tickets, huh?
I'm just more than happy to tell you when I failed.
Listen, we've all failed. You know what I mean? I think that's first of all, I thank you for calling in and being honest with a struggle that you faced. You know what I mean? Because I think some people don't have the courage to admit those, and they try and forget that they happen. And I think the more we can understand that they're happening and why they happen, I think the better we can make ourselves and the world around us. So I'll let you take it. You want to direct her and what she needs to do? No? Anybody? No?
Yeah,
Diana.
Just tell us a story that you set a goal and it didn't quite go as planned, but you came back twice as strong.
Well, I used to be in a program called Year Up. It's a wonderful program. I set a goal that I was going to finish within the year mark, and that I would finish Year Up, and that I would go to my accomplished company. But unfortunately, due to medical reasons, I was unable to continue. I'm not going to lie, I was depressed. I was upset, and I kept fighting myself, thinking, why would you do this for yourself? But it's something that I couldn't even do. It was a medical issue. I couldn't control it. You hear background noise?
No, you're good.
No, you're fine.
You're good.
But it's something I couldn't control. But I was so mad at myself for the longest on that I thought I was a failure, because I also had 2 kids. And I'm like, I'm failing me. But what's even more important, that I thought I was failing my kids.
Right.
So I continued thinking like that for 2 months, and I was like, you know what, enough. I can continue sulking for myself, or I can actually better myself and my life for my family. So I actually applied to Aon under IT. I went to Europe for sales, so I applied under IT at Aon, and I'm like, you know, do this. It was meant for me. So I applied. I did it. I'm currently going to school at Harold Washington because they're paying for me to go to school.
Nice.
Wow.
I got in.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Congrats.
That's good.
That's
for
the
you.
resilience behind that.
Good
You
for
should be
you.
so proud of yourself.
Yeah.
I really am. But the thing is, like, I don't know who was saying it in the beginning. We do have to acknowledge our failures. We do have to see that, you know what? Yeah, they're there, but what can we do to make our life better, to not stay stuck in the same routine and go in the same circle over and over again?
Yeah. And that's it. You know, I think understanding, right, is the first step, is to really, right? They say the first step is through denial, getting over that denial.
Yeah.
But
Acceptance.
once we really just understand what's going
Yeah.
on, right, and we're not in denial anymore, I think that we can really start to figure out some things and do some direction setting and so forth. So, kudos to you for really digging through that. That's what it's all
Pushing
about.
through.
It's the grind and like feeling that you can sit here comfortably and say, hey, I failed, but here's what I did after my failure. And here's why I'm better because of it, and that just goes so far in terms of how you now take that and how you couple that on top of other things in your life and how it builds a thicker skin for you to get through other failures. Because you're like, I failed at one thing already. It's cool. I made up for it because I'm here now. Like, whatever, I'll fail at something again, right? But I'm going to still grind through that because I have a vision. I have goals set, right? Which is really what we're trying to set home today is really setting those goals. And it seems like you really had it laid out. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. I just failed my midterm right now in my CIS class, but you know what? I know that the plan that I had on how I was studying, it ain't work. So I'm going to continue on trying to find something that does work.
Right.
Yeah, that's all trial and error.
Yeah. And look for people too to support you in that. You know what I mean? Like Dominic even came from Year Up. So I didn't know if you he just
Class
recently
16, if it helps.
graduated.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, he
appreciate
got
you.
hired, he got converted over, so I'm sure you know about that struggle. But like in terms of looking to people for guidance and stuff and the support system, I mean that's huge, but again, it comes down to setting your goals and not being scared to one step at a time, just go hard with them. Right.
Exactly.
And have the discipline every day to do that. And that is tough. But if you take off a little chunk at a time every day, that's what it's about. A little 5% every day.
I mean, she was still focused on her goals.
Yeah.
It's just it got redirected.
Right.
And that was good that she kept pushing through. Pushing through.
I really like what you said about when you applied for Aon too, how you said, if it's for me, this is a goal, it'll work. And I really believe in that, if something is meant for you, that is what's really meant for you. And like that goal that you have in mind, just for example, like the whole Year Up thing, like it didn't work out, but you found something even better. And look at now, you're at Herald, it's getting paid for. So it's just like all part of the bigger goal.
Right.
Now, did you believe that it was meant to be that way, Diane?
At first, I was like, you know what? I couldn't get over the fact that the plan and the goals that I had set got redirected. So I struggled that, it is what it is. I got to continue, what it is. It just definitely got to me because I come from like a military family, so they always have a set role set. So getting misdirected and getting misguided kind of threw me off because I've never had that before. So having that back in my life, I was confused. But like having a support system, everybody needs a little help every now and then, but we got to recognize that we do need help.
Yeah.
We need our support system, and we do, get the rails for my goals and our plans, and it happens. So now I am able to recognize that, what it is, I got to roll with it.
Good.
That's good for you.
Good.
That's great. So we connected too on Diana. We'll make sure we connect. We'll see who else calls in today. I mean, right now you're the winner. I mean, I love the story. I love what you fought through.
Perfect. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
story.
very tough.
Yeah.
Like I failed. I think my parents had a couple times in my life, within school dynamics of just not, getting to where at the end of the day, ascertain to what I want to be. You know what I mean? And so I just commend you for fighting through that and just staying true to what you're passionate about. The one thing I would add is just set good goals, and we'll dive into that a little bit more today. Goals they're not just about setting them, right? It's about setting them and then walking yourself backwards or re-engineering, reverse engineering where you're trying to get, right? And setting those little 5% incremental steps every day and getting there. So that would be my advice, but it seems like you don't need a lot of advice for us. You're kind of already on your road, so keep it up.
Definitely. Thank you. Yeah, definitely step at a time. Everybody always wants to jump in, but no one ever tests the waters anymore.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Do me a favor, Diana. Just make sure on the page, just message the page. Just put it in caller number 1, and that'll help us remember. I'll remember, but just in case. And feel free to share any advice about the show, anything we can change, do differently, anything you really liked about it, anything you didn't like. We're open people. We're just trying to learn from everyone else and hopefully let people learn from us too. Okay.
No, definitely. I'm definitely going to share everything. I really wish I was able to see the emotional intelligence at the workplace. I missed that, but I'm glad I get to see this now. And continue with it.
Good. Everything again, right? This is going to be a long-standing show. That's our goal. This is just the beginning. So please keep tuning in. Tell your friends, your colleagues, and hopefully send some guests our way. That's always huge. People that are like you are about overcoming those hurdles and challenges and barriers in life. We'd love to have them on the show. Okay.
Thanks for your support.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. We'll talk. Bye.
Bye.
So good. That's, and if we can get one person to share their story about what, like, that inspires me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Really nice.
Like, that gives me 5 more weeks of like, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not for me though. She's feeling good about getting to share that because that's hard, man.
And
it's hard to fail
too.
a program or take yourself out of something. What are your thoughts on what she said, Dom?
I highly respect everything that she said and that she went through to get to where she's at now. Like, it all paid off, and setting those goals, and like she said, it wasn't part of her plan for that to happen, but she rolled with the punches and she adapted. The goal laid itself out,
right.
And then on top of that, being a mom of 2 kids, more respect to her for that. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So that's awesome.
Lot to handle. That's awesome.
So everything works out. It's awesome.
Awesome. Good. So we're here on Principles of Passion, IntellectualRadio.com. We appreciate you tuning in. If you want to call in, I'm sorry I didn't say this at the beginning, 708-223-8953. Again, 708-223-8953. We'd appreciate it. Even if you don't want to call in and tell us about a barrier you've overcame, just tell us something that you like about the show that you don't like, something we can do differently. We're open to criticism. Again, we're trying to set a platform. Every day I talk with numerous amounts of students and young adults that are making their way into the job market that have no clue what they want to do. They knew they graduate. For example, I talked to this kid today. He was trying to graduate in IT. He ended up not being able to transfer over a certain amount of credits, had to get his bachelor's degree, still wants to do IT, but was like, well, I was thinking of just taking, this kind of, I'm like, what's your passion? Like, what do you want to do? Like, where are your goals? So we really sat down and talked about that, where his goals are, what does he like, right? You don't know what your passion is, but you know what you like doing right now. Let's lay out a little plan for you today. Let's set some goals. Let's talk about some plans behind those goals, right? What are some things you can do today, tomorrow, right? And then do them. Right, next week. But that's what I love about my job. I get to talk with people about what their challenges are, and then I get to come on the show and like try and hear from people about how they're working through those challenges so that I can try and help more, So again, I really would love just to hear from people and their stories. Denora, anything to add? Dom, anything you want to add?
Do you want me to recap?
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, of course.
You got it? Yeah, my man.
So to recap of last week was confidence. So perfect way to follow it with setting goals. But last week we just talked about confidence. Sometimes you might not have role models for that guidance, but you find it through friends, you find it through ulterior motives. And as long as you have something fueling you and you know that you're motivated or fine, then you're good.
All right. And that, like, through friendship, through research, right? Through looking at people, like I look at so many podcasts, and that's one of the things. One of the ones on here, and I forget which one. Use software, right? I use software podcasts to just listen to great, like Joe Rogan, Gary V. You turn me on to Gary V.
That's awesome.
Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
Just some of the greats. Like every day I listen to something positive for about 30 minutes a day. Just a motivational speaker trying to.
And how big of an impact is that?
It's
It
been
pumps you in the
phenomenal.
gym,
for
yeah.
me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really helps.
Trying to talk through those things, because sometimes it's little tiny things that like you should be doing, but you're just not doing them. And it's not that you don't want to be doing them. It's just that, oh, never thought about that. And then boom, you start doing it. And then it's one of your habits. So I think it's about those little incremental steps in getting to your goal. That's awesome. And that's the part you got to live in. To your recap, just our 10 principles and where I want people to be able to give their opinions on what other principles are. Mine, I don't even want to say ours. I would say mine. You guys have your own, but do the right thing. Attitude is everything. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Believe in yourself. Set goals. That's what we're on today. Stay organized. 85% of all jobs are filled by networking. Diligence is the father of persistence. And if you don't have an education, you better have a craft or a lot of money. And even if you have all three, nothing in life is guaranteed. And the last one's be elite. So what we want to do right now, the one definition I came up with was for goal. And before I do this, catchphrase, principles of passion, follow your passion. If anyone wants to call and give another story, we'd love it. The goal, or the definition that I found for goal, was the end towards which is directed.
The end towards which is directed.
What do you think about that, Denora?
The end, it is towards
that's the one that's like, there was all these ones that were like synonyms.
Yeah.
The end towards which effort is directed.
So is it back to like that reverse engineering concept of it? Because I start my goals from the end. I start from like where I look at the bigger picture. I did
in mind.
Yeah, I have the end in mind.
Covey.
Let's say I want to make, hypothetically speaking, $600,000 a year.
Yeah.
So I look at my goal and then I work backwards. But I mean, yeah. So that's what I got from that definition.
That's what it is.
And I feel like, that makes more sense.
That's what it is. Yeah. Don, what do you think?
I seen it. Well, I got a vision of it. It was like someone walking on a path and just going straight, but just like the effort to walk to your end goal. Because in life, the only way I see it is like in life, you have two directions, backwards and forwards. And if you're going backwards, you're not getting anywhere. But if you're moving forward to the end direction with the effort of walking, you're going to go to your goal.
So taking action.
Yes. Yes, to that point. To your point, I guess I would ask, and this is where a lot of people, right? I saw this quote the other day. You can shoot an arrow at something with no target and you won't miss. Right?
That's fair.
So to this point, it's like you could walk all day, but if you don't have a goal in mind or an end in mind, you could be walking aimlessly.
Yeah.
Right? So that's super important. It's like I was talking to this young adult today, this young kid. He's probably, I don't know, 22, 23. And he's like, I finished the degree. I got the bachelor's. I wanted to get IT. It's like, but I've been entertaining these recruiting calls. And I'm like, whoa. I'm a recruiter. I know that's not IT. Well, IT recruiter. I was like, which IT recruiter sold you on that? Basically, was what I was trying to say to him, because it's like, if your passion's IT, don't just go all over. Go with what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, go with IT. You want to be a systems admin. That's what systems engineer. It's like, go for that. Find a position that's going to let you work a couple days a week, maybe for free. I started out working 3 months for free to bust my butt and learn in the environment that I wanted to work in first, right? But it wasn't free. I was giving them my time. They were giving me knowledge, right? But that's how I started my staffing career. So I was like, if that's what you want, like, don't go take an IT recruiter role, bro, unless you like sales. if you like that grind. And I'm saying all that to say, set a goal, have a direction, and follow through to that direction. Don't just be taking anything. As people, I know I need to get better at it. Setting a goal and to your point, mapping that goal out. What are you going to do with that goal? What action are you going to break down every week, every month?
It's discipline and practice. And even though it gets boring, that's what I failed. I failed because I constantly had to learn something new. And when I would set a goal, I'm like, okay, mastered it. So I thought, mastered it. And I had to continue. I just moved forward with something else because I got bored of that one. But you had to continue practicing. It's kind of like martial arts or basketball.
Or anything
that
you want to get great at. You practice every day. And like, I feel like that. And it's funny. I went on my first client visit today, new company. We went on, and it was a manufacturing company, right? And I was talking with the senior manager of manufacturing. He's like, what's your biggest problem? He's like, turnover. It's like, well, you're having people do, right? So they got to have more of a vision. They got to have all of these barriers going on.
Yeah.
Attended to, right? And goals set for each of them so that they can get through those, so they can get to this, right?
Yeah.
Half of their struggle is just getting to work. The other half is all this, right? So help them work through these things, right? Help them work through this, help them set the vision and the pathway, and you won't have so much turnover, right?
It's training and development, right? It's lack of training and development too.
That's
communication.
That
breakdown.
is it. That is it.
That's what I've noticed.
Training, right? In the process as a whole. So Denora, the PM she is, I mean, that's her thing too, is coaching. That's her company, is bringing folks in to the industry that are younger, that where there may be a disconnect in the organization of bringing these people in. And there may be a disconnect up top of how do you solve some of their challenges that are going on up top, but break them down to more of a junior level so junior people can handle them. So that's where that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Anything you guys want to add to that?
No, it's pretty clear.
Cool. So there was an article, it's an older article, Business Insider. The author was Scott Halford, and it's called 7 Tips Achieving Your Goals. I'm going to run through these 7 tips real quick, but then I'm going to jump down to this next one because there's more tips, and I feel like it's a lengthier article. I feel like we can dissect some of those a little more. But again, Business Insider, Scott Halford, these 7 tips are: dream to be motivated. I love that one, right? Don't just dream, but like, what motivates you to do it every day? What's your why, right? With the goal, you can assimilate the word goal with why. Why are we doing this show? Why are you having a hard time finding a job? Well, you don't know what your why is. What do you want? Why, right? Number 2, break it down into 24-hour bites. You can't do everything in 40 days, right? Just one person that can do that, all right? 40 days, 40 nights, right? Take your time, okay? Break it down into 24-hour bites, right? Part of that is knowing what your why is, what your direction is that you're going. But then after that, breaking it down into 3 to 5 goals. And then under those, breaking those down into 3 to 5. And then lump each of those into 24-hour bites, okay? Do something daily. Same thing, 24-hour bites. 30 days are crucial, right? First 30 days, what do you do with those? What do you fight through? I mean, just tell me one time when you, like, those first 30 days, like, have hit you hard.
Oh, yeah. Well, this was really petty, but it was planking. I know it sounds so small, but planking. So I'm like,
if you don't know planking, if you can't see
he's actually
it,
that's planking.
Okay. That's planking.
So, well, because I actually did it as an exercise to exercise discipline, because I kind of lacked it at the moment. And I'm like, I'm just going to plank 1 minute each night, no matter if I just had a fun night, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to plank. And yeah, it was 30 days and I followed through and it increased. Obviously, it was 1 minute, then I did it 2. Something small, but it was my way of.
What'd you get up to? What did you get up to?
Like 3 minutes.
Yeah, girl.
That's
Great.
great.
In 1 month and 30 minutes.
That
But
is tough.
I still don't have the six pack out.
Working on the finish.
But, it was just more of exercising discipline because before I even started a goal, I realized that I lacked discipline. So I was like, let me try small. Let me try something small. And if I can master this, then I'll move on to something bigger.
Okay.
Everyone has their own way.
For sure. Good. No, I love it. Couple other things and plank. Listen, I remember when planking was like, when it was planking yoga and then it went to planking, like, let's
Pilates.
go plank on the top of the Sears Tower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's
Real
video our
fast.
planking anywhere. And now it's just like, we're planking. We're planking. Real talk. Next one, adapt and adjust. I mean, from the Marines, changes forever. You got to adapt to your situation. You got to adapt to your feelings, how those change, and then how you just interact. I think with the people around you, with the organization that you're in, and just learn how to be accepting of your positives and letting go of your faults. You know what I mean?
That's tough.
It's tough.
I don't know. Is it easy for you to let go of your faults, Tom? Easy. I just always go to him because he's so chill.
It's things to work on. It's like the more you harp on them, the longer they're gonna drag out. So you might as well
Yeah, it's true.
just get a head start.
Just get going. Take
You know,
action.
as they come,
Right.
of course, and then just
Take action.
prioritize. But
Awesome. So feedback and reward. Get feedback from
Yeah.
people. Like emotionally intelligent feedback is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that you have to open your eyes and not be trying to talk. You got to be trying to hear and listen both visually, verbally, what people are saying, how they're looking at you, how they're receiving you. That's huge feedback, but also how you reward yourself from little things like you incorporated today. We got new audio. Hope it's working well. We got some new video.
Stepping it up.
We'll see. We'll see
It's
what
increments.
right. So little
Increments,
tiny
yep.
increments, people. We're doing it little by
He
little.
wants to jump sometimes.
I try to leap the
We got to
house.
bring him back.
So real talk story in college. I'm just gonna throw this out there.
I don't know if you should.
I'm gonna say it. I literally was a little intoxicated, people, and trying to thinking about this in terms of leaping.
He was in college.
I was in college leaping. This was a long time ago. I'm not gonna age myself. I literally dove off of a set of stairs because I thought that I could fly.
Wow.
I survived. I landed on my face, but I came out of it with my boys like, bro, you kept your arms up the whole time. You thought you were really
That's
flying.
something.
The power of believing in your
If
goal.
that is any testament to how much I will leap now that I'm a little more sane and a little more educated.
And
But
older.
I will leap.
That's good.
And that's what goals are about, though. To the first point here is dream to be motivated.
Yeah.
Like leap to what's gonna inspire you, what's gonna make you feel pumped about waking up in the morning. And don't get me wrong, you're gonna wake up some days and be like, oh, I gotta work out today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta write this itinerary out. Ooh, I gotta do this. That's the grind, right? But to say that you did that every day for 10 to 15 years, right? You become an expert after 5 to 10 years or something, right? But to say you did that every day for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days, see how much your life changes when you get through something for 30 days and you stick with it. Incremental amounts, would you say?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll go through these last. Again, we're here on IntellectualRadio.com, Principles of Passion. We're trying to inspire. We're trying to hear from people's stories that we all go through challenges, but how do you dissect those, learn from them, and how do you share those with other people so that they can be inspired too? And I think that's what our mission is. Is to have an open enough setting where people can feel comfortable, not bitching, moaning, and complaining, excuse my language, but also not boasting, right? Be able to meet in the middle.
Just
How do you
humble.
do both? How do you be open on both ends? So the last is my filler. My mom's like, you better watch your fillers, boy. I'm watching them. Mom, love you. No, you're going to get bored. Okay. That's another one that's important. It's going to happen. Anytime
Yeah.
you're doing something repetitive every day, you're going to get bored. What's your vision? What's your mission?
Mhm.
Where are you trying to get to? And then schedule cheat time. Do something 5 days a week. Leave yourself 2 days off to
Ooh.
do whatever, or leave yourself a couple hours off, right? To us trying to grind it. No, go ahead, please. I want to hear it because I feel what you're thinking now.
Yeah.
I don't give
'cause-
myself time off,
yeah.
but you got to give it off somewhere in terms of leisure.
I
It may
agree
not
with
be
you on
2
that
days.
statement. I
What-
do. And I think we faced that the other day. I work 7 days a week. I work about 3 jobs because I'm starting my business, working a job. I'm balancing a lot. But because I don't have that one day of my meditation, it really takes a toll on me. And how can I put this? I want that vision so bad, and I want that goal to like manifest right this moment because I think I'm magical. So I wanted to manifest this moment, and I don't have patience because one, I'm tired, and two, I'm working so hard and not seeing results.
Right.
So when we were discussing the other day, and I kind of like, lashed out a little bit. Again, it wasn't towards them. It was just me being upset and tired. I realized, oh my God, I have to take a step back, though I did take another job, but I have to take one step back and just give myself one day to breathe and digest what happened throughout the week and reassess my goals.
Yeah. You got to give, and listen, I have dug deep some days and thought like, am I not giving enough time to my son who's sitting right out here right now, kicking it, practicing his guitar, doing his reading. Yeah. I think about that too, like in terms of how do you balance it all?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you go hard, and I think where you pick up the pieces is knowing that you're doing the right thing in every aspect, right? Are you doing the right thing here? Am I doing the right thing by my son? Am I doing the right thing by this program? Am I doing the right thing by my company? Am I doing the right thing by my family? And you balance it all. That's what life, it's a balancing act.
Balance and confidence. I think because I wasn't confident that I was going to reach and attain my goal, then I lost a little control. So I think when you feel, and that's why I respect Dom so much, because I feel like he has that confidence. He's quiet, but he has his confidence, very strong confidence.
He is on it.
Yeah, he does. And he's just, because he knows that he's going to attain his goal and he doesn't have to rush through it because he's going to get it no matter what. Going back to what Diane, she was going to get it no matter what. With me, I want it now. And so patience is a virtue.
Yeah. I love your story. I love your honesty. That's,
you gotta be honest, because it's what we all go through in this is real life.
That's it. You're right. So think about this too. There's two types of goals, right? There's goals that we have that we're 95% sure we're going to accomplish, right? And then there's goals that we have that there's 95% degree of uncertainty, right? And if you could break it down into those two terms, or those two categories, it makes you think about things a little bit more differently, in terms of there's this or this. You're going to go hard or you're going to let it just sit there, There's another article out there. It's it's actually I don't even think it's a podcast. They're a website. So I don't know what you call that. It's not an article. They just throw up.
So it's like a blog.
My man. That's it. So to my man, blog.
Gotcha,
and
broski.
it's called Wake Up Cloud though. And
Wake Up Cloud.
This one's called Setting Smart Goals. There's a few on here that I really want to go through. They have, let's see, 20. Again, if you want to call in, 708-223-8953. If you're tuning in on the radio, Your Passion 1ST. We just got incorporated. What do we do with that, right? With that incorporation? Like,
There's so much more to
We
come.
got a lot.
There's so much more to come. It's just the beginning.
So, no, again, all feedback is welcome.
Mhm.
We want to hear more from you. This isn't a show about us because we could talk all day, and I promise you we do.
Mhm.
And we will.
We want to hear more from the
Just throwing that in
audience,
there.
from the people too, within the audience, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to call, send it to someone that you feel is going through a challenge, a barrier, or that has a story to tell. You got one of your friends that just talks all the time. They're great at everything. Find out what they're really great about and have them come talk about it.
Good point.
Okay. This list here. Mom, I love you. Mom, you're supposed to call in. Where the heck you are? We had one caller. My mom ain't even calling in. People don't love me. Guess what? We can't do curse words here, but I'm just saying, I'm living my best life right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to compete with Diana for these tickets at the end. Real talk. Number one, specific. Be specific about your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, as we come to the end of the show,
Mm-hmm.
over the next bit of time, what do you think? Specific goals.
Well, you have to definitely, you have to have a method of doing that. I don't know what your advice is for how to set goals. Like, I write mine, and I confirmed, I was reading an article on it. It's like 42% of people who write it actually attain the goal. So it's a high percentage. So I write my goals, and as I'm writing them, I get clarity. Like, as I'm writing, like, I want to be, I don't know, a superstar, whatever. I get clarity, and I just continue to write. So there's a magical power in that, in writing. So yeah, it helps me be specific. And yeah, and just that, I actually just did my goal setting this morning for working out. But as the minute I started writing, it just became more and more clear.
That's great. And what I would say, and I'll jump to you next with the next one, Dom, but with that, just to follow up, set goals, write them down. Don't just write a goal, right? The gentleman I spoke to today, goal, 3 subset goals. What are 3 things that can help you get to that goal?
Yeah.
And then break those down into 3 to 5 things each.
Yeah.
What are 3 to 5 things that you can do daily to hit that goal? And like, even the subset under the 3-year goal, you wanted to be a systems engineer. Under that, what do you want to be in 3 months? Where do you want to be? Well, you want to have a job, obviously, right? So how do you break those 3? Your network. How do you network? Break a couple things down. You build your skills up.
Mm-hmm.
Break a couple things down. What are you doing every day to build those skills up? And then I want to work out more. Or I want to build a closer relationship with my family or my friends. So you throw 2 other things, break them down little by little, but you write it down so that you see that piece of paper, and then you talk with your network about that piece of paper.
True.
So you're visualizing it, you're starting to implement it, and you're starting to gain ideas from what that vision looks like.
What's your resource of like?
It's like, how do you get so wise?
We both write it. I mean, I think we talked about it last time, the first show.
Oh man, there's a lot.
Do you do a vision board?
No,
I have anything against vision boards. I love vision boards, but just
it's in my third eye. That's my vision board.
No, and whatever works. Yeah.
No, yeah.
So you keep it. Like
No. I used to, but yeah, we actually did talk about this the first episode.
Write it down.
It was Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
Chris helped me with that. I started writing it down.
Awesome.
And I started applying to it.
Millennials don't use pen and pad anymore, just so you guys know, but he does now.
I'm not a millennial.
What are you?
I'm a
Gen Z?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to age myself. Shut up, bro.
You started this,
Gen
man.
Z, Gen X, what are you?
Dug your own hole.
Right? Seriously.
But yeah, so I just run now. And then also I wanted to make that point earlier. It's like the little things that you're like, you never really think about, or you brush off. You're like, I don't really want to do it. But I used to be like that as well. As a little side story before we wrap up, it was I used to hate doing my bed before I left. I was like, I'm just gonna come home and sleep in it the same way anyway. But I started fixing it, and then I started paying attention to me fixing it, and it was like, okay, 2 minutes out of my day, but it gave me a boost of energy that said, if I could fix this, I can go to work. I can get through the days. And, it's the little things that really make the bigger picture.
It's discipline.
They add up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They add up. And that, there's a few. I'm going to list these. And in the time we have left, I don't know if we'll get to go through these, but I want to go through attainable, right? Make sure your goal is attainable. Make sure it's not only realistic, but attainable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Realistic, timely. Are you setting the right time frame for it? And if not, readjust. If you don't hit it in the time frame, keep going at it. Model. Are you modeling off of people? And I'm not saying there's temporal, right? How we compare ourselves, and then comparisons.
Yeah.
Model after people, but in terms of comparing yourself, get better on your own and base yourself off of your own progressions. But in terms of modeling, like I looked at how our podcast, I told the digital media girl, go look at Gary Vee. That's how I want mine. 50% of that. If I can get to 50% of Gary Vee, I'll be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like model off of people.
Yeah.
Long way to go to get there, but we getting there, promise. Visualization, right? See yourself there. Wake up in the morning and don't think about, darn, what I don't want to do. Think about what you can do for that day.
Yeah.
You know, what can you really go out and do in this world today that's going to make you happy, that's going to inspire you, but that in return can hopefully inspire other people. That's the end game, right? But like, what sets you on fire? Affirm every day. Watch those Gary V's, watch the Eric Thomases, watch the Joe Rogans, watch whatever, do whatever, say your mantras, whatever you got to do every day to I got this.
Yeah.
And doggone it, people like me, right? Pat from saying that live. Doggone it, people like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for real, those little affirmations every day, along with all this other stuff,
They go a long way.
okay? Release doubts. You're gonna have haters. I'm not saying I hate on myself some days, but I doubt myself a little bit sometimes.
It's human
Right?
nature.
Right. But you dig in and you make sure you're doing all these other things right, and doubt goes away. If you're not doing even one of these things in the right manner, you can't feel good about it, doubt starts to creep in. Right? Any one person can say something to you. So really work on that's probably one of the biggest ones in conjunction with take action.
Exactly.
Believe in yourself. Take action. Number 11, use software, use different social media posts and so forth. Meditate. You mentioned that one. Getting your mind right, making sure you're wusa, whether that be going and running 5 miles, going and sitting and meditating for an hour, but more importantly, that you're journaling or that you're keeping control of your thoughts in some way, right? Meditate, write them down, right? Then you can provide goals from that information. Brainstorm, be open, read, listen, and learn. Determination, resiliency, right, is in conjunction with determination. Positive attitude, non-perfection, huge. It's not perfect every day. It's a little bit every day. It's progression every day. And then follow your passion at the end of the day. To go back before people get off, job fair say, if you're looking for a job, National Career Fair, Chicago Hilton, Oak Brook, Illinois. It's the Resort and Conference Center. It's at 11 o'clock tomorrow. The other one is on Friday at Doubletree by Hilton Hotel Chicago, Magnificent Mile. The address is 300 East Ohio Street. We're trying to be inspired. We're trying to inspire. There's a lot of people that I talk to every day, but in the world right now that are lacking that drive for their passion. They're trying to find it. They're trying to really cultivate it, right? And then they're trying to follow that passion. Then there's people that are, 30s to 50s that have lost way of it because of the barriers and challenges that have impeded their way.
Past memories,
right? So how do we have an open platform where people can call and talk about it? Whatever you want to do, whatever you have to call in and say, we're here to listen. If you're trying to overcome something, we can't give you expert advice. We're not experts. We can give you a few different opinions. We can try and point you in the right direction of any advice that you may need. The compilation of all of us, we know a lot of people. So we can definitely get you pointed in the right direction. But at the end of the day, it's talking about it.
It's conversation.
It's being about it.
Yeah.
Right. It's conversing about it.
Living it.
And it's trying to make a difference, right? A positive impact, and talking about things that may not be so easily positively influenced, right? But how do we talk about them openly? So, again, I appreciate all of y'all tuning in, to my co-hosts that are on this journey with us as we begin here. Dominic, Denora, I love y'all. I love y'all for just giving me your heart, your inspiration here. and a little piece of yourselves. I really appreciate that.
Definitely.
And Diana, thanks for calling in today. Tickets are yours, girl. I got you. Tickets are yours. So,
See ya.
and hey, listen, a million other people could have called in. My one friend said, why would I call in if I could go and pay $100? That seems like a lot of work, Chris. I could go and pay $100. It's like, well, can you go and pay $100 for 2 tickets? And can you do it for free and just call in and talk? Just talk about your challenges in life and still get those tickets? No, you can't. And so that's something over to death, but like, motivate yourself. Motivate yourself to want to work smarter, not harder for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's about, is how do you lump all of your goals and everything into one constricted line? And how do you follow, knowing that you're going to fall off and jump back on it and keep going to where you got to get? So again, we're here on IntellectualRadio.com. This is Principles of Passion, episode number 6. Set goals and follow through with those goals. We really appreciate y'all tuning in. See y'all next week. Love y'all. Holla.
Okay, Principles of Passion, take 1.
It's Principles of Passion.
Molly and I share a passion.
Hey, I am very passionate.
Nice.
This is passion.
Michael and I share a passion.
It's a passion for me. It's my passion.
I've learned a lot, and I followed my passion. Here's your host, Chris Thomas, with Denora Robles and Dominic Chimino on IntellectualRadio.com. Of passion.